We are told that we are too young to form our own opinions, and that whatever an adult tells us is true. But what if we were to dig deeper and see the other side of the story? We see the effects of global warming every day and everywhere. We see the smog settling on the horizon, the cliche pictures of stranded polar bears, and electric cars starting to dominate the roads. Global warming is one of the largest problems the U.S. and the world faces. We can all agree on that. But why is it occurring? Most scientists say that global warming is occurring because of humans. They say we have too many CO2 emissions and too many cars on the roads. But there is another side to the story.
It's not caused by people. We do need to clean the earth, but not because of global warming. Blaming it on people is very American. We pick the easiest thing to blame and run with it. The supporters of global warming say it is due to an increase of CO2 in the atmosphere. But according to Professor Robert N. Carter at James Cook University, within error bounds, AGT has not increased since 1995 and has declined since 2002. Despite an increase in atmospheric CO2 of 8% since 1995, the problem with global warming is that it is very political. Scientists look for evidence after they have drawn conclusions instead of the ways the scientific process suggests.
We know from ice cores that CO2 didn't get much above 300 parts per million in the last million years. So, and the lowest it got was maybe 150 parts per million. So the natural variability, to give you better numbers, the natural variability of the last million years is when it's really cold, 180 parts per million. When it's warm, like today, 280 parts per million. And that 100 is about the natural variability over the last million years. In time, CO2 was higher in the past. And if you go back 3 million years, you hit a period called the Pliocene, where CO2 levels were about 400 parts per million. They were higher back then because the mechanics of the carbon cycle are such that CO2 can be high or low depending on how much carbon is locked up in rocks and in the ocean and how much is free to be in the atmosphere.
Supporters of global warming believe carbon dioxide is the leading cause of global warming and that humans are the reason the CO2 levels are so high. Yet millions of years ago, CO2 levels and global temperatures were much higher. This seems to indicate that humans aren't the cause of global warming. Greenhouse gases do warm the earth, but what most people don't realize is that carbon dioxide only makes up 0.035% of the atmosphere. All scientists believe we need cleaner air, yet people aren't motivated by the mere fact that people are dying, because it doesn't affect them. If they blame global warming on pollution, saying it could affect their lives and their children's, people are more likely to change their ways.
This is Al Gore's carbon parts per million and temperature graph shown from the video we watched in class. It is depicting the relationship between years of high temperature in relation to carbon parts per million. Another video talked about there being an 800-year lag time in relation to the temperature spikes, basically saying that the temperature rose and the CO2 followed. Al Gore has the two lines separated, but as shown in the second graph, when you put them together with the lag time, you can clearly see that the temperature rises and the carbon dioxide follows. We have been told by adults that global warming is man-made and that it will affect us. They say it as though they have studied this since they were born. It is time for us, the new generation of the world, to dig deeper and see the other side of the argument. It is time we think for ourselves and start looking forward for the evidence that global warming actually exists. When we look hard enough, we will find no evidence. We will see the thermometer go up and down as Earth's natural cycles warm and cool the Earth. The global warming crisis is not man-made. It is a figment of our imagination. Global warming is naturally occurring on Earth, just as natural as breathing is to us. Global warming is man-made. There is no doubt about it. According to the United States Global Change Research Program, the temperature in the United States has increased by 2 degrees in the last 50 years, and the precipitation by 5%. Greenhouse gases are the leading cause of global warming, and guess what? The United States emits about 6 billion tons of carbon dioxide every day. The Kyoto Protocol is supposed to help limit the emissions, but the country having the most effect on the world won't ratify it. People need to realize we are killing the planet by releasing billions of tons of pollutant to the air, causing people and the earth to die. We need to stop lying to ourselves and face the facts.